Thank you very much for a very impressive introduction. Yeah, that helps, to connect with you. People may think very high of the speaker. So, respected Dr. Jibendra Mishra, respected Sri UP Prakasham, Mr. V. Rajendran, my friend, advocate and cyber security expert, ladies and gentlemen, it's indeed a great honor to inaugurate the seminar on secure banking or secure e-banking. I don't know, they made some technical, yeah, secure e-banking or secure e-banking. It's a great honor, and after all, inaugurating a seminar is the easiest of all jobs. I was really glad to just inaugurate, but Mr. Rajendran being one of the colleagues, yeah, he assisted us in the investigation of some of the crimes, and he made it a point that I also speak something about the cyber crimes in the banking sector. I must really thank Mr. Rajendran for considering me as the chief guest and the keynote address among such senior persons in the banking sector. I must also confess that I am an ex-bank officer. I was, I am an ex-IOBN. Yeah, my mother would have been very, very happy had I continued in the bank. She very specifically called me for a private discussion, and my mother said, bank job is the best job available in the country, and why are you leaving this? My mother was only 7th standard, no? What a great wisdom she had at that point in time. Even I was also under the impression when I was in the school, probably the banking people are the richest people in the whole world, and particularly the cashier, the man who keeps all the money, And we were all in the schools in a village. My father was an ex-serviceman from the Navy and finding very difficult to, collect money for us in the school and college. And agriculture particularly, which often fails. And I found that people keep, those days, thousands of rupees or 100,000 of rupees in the bank are very rich people. So I was really fancied and immediately joined as an officer in the Indian Overseas Bank. But soon I found out, I thought that people are very happy because they possess a lot of money. Then I found out that they are very insecure and unhappy because they possess a lot of money. It's also a liability, It's more than a strength. Money, keeping money, somebody else's money is much more serious responsibility. But I also find that those days things are different. You are really worried about the real theft. Physical theft, somebody may take away the money from the cash, from the chest, or by mistake you may debit or credit somebody's account. In my case, I never understood what is credit and what is debit. Very difficult. And later when I did an MBA, then there is some course in accounting. It is really difficult to ascertain ultimately this is to be debited or credited. Which account? Like insurance or loan or loan interest. Very difficult to understand. So ultimately, the bank officers are really worried about the physical safety of the money. Sometimes the bank staff themselves may take away some money. End of the day, we are supposed to tally. I don't know, the banking tally, all the accounts must tally. Now it must be easier with the computer. But those days, physically you have to calculate and see all the ledgers. Maybe 500 rupees deficit one day. And all of us are working. Ultimately, we found out 500 rupee notes were delivered to a lady in excess of her payment. So we went to the place and made an inquiry, and she had said, no, you only gave me this much money. And we all know we paid the money to that lady. So we got hold of the Panchayat president. He went and tried. So I told the Panchayat president, the poor accountant, the man who is in the cash, he had 2 daughters to marry off. He's really, really in a serious problem. On hearing this, the lady agreed. Okay, then in that case, I agree. 500 rupees was paid in excess to me. So it's very difficult sometimes to get the money back, which is wrongly paid. Because the level of honesty. I don't know what's your impression about the people. The level of honesty of the people is being recorded, so I can't say. Sometimes it is not good to say bad about people, right? But the truth is that, I don't know, you decide, I will not say from my mouth. I've been to Japan. I went to Japan 2 years before. And somebody took me along to the village. I wanted to see how people live, what is their behavior. And in front of a house, they are keeping so much vegetables. Nobody was there. And they told me the husband and wife are employees. And there's a small space. Japanese will have very small houses. You will not believe. Maybe the average house will be this much size only. The stage will be the house. If there is space beyond this, maybe of this, they cultivate vegetables, very fine vegetables, horizontally. We cultivate vertically, they cultivate horizontally, like tomato, beans, varieties of vegetables, and they marked which vegetable, what price, and there's a weighing machine. This vegetable, this much per kilograms, and people come, they weigh, pay the price, they put the money inside the box and go away. Husband and wife will go for work. You understand? Do you follow what I am trying to say? People cultivate some vegetables, they harvest it, keep it in front of their house, they line up and tag of the price tag, and there will be a weighing machine, and there will be a cash box. Even when they come by 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, the money will be there intact. Just imagine a situation in Perangalattur, somebody is cultivating vegetables and keep it in front of the house, tag and all that. Do you think people correctly weigh it? Pay the money correctly? I don't know. You imagine. All your wild imaginations can. It's a level of honesty. I have noticed people, you pay the loan, they'll be very happy, they thank you, they even try to offer you some money for the services done. Even if you don't want, they want to give you, because their conscience hurts unless you pay something. So my manager is an ex-serviceman. He's very abusive. People paying money, They offer some money to the officers, and I tell them, sir, in intercom I tell, sir, this lady is trying to offer me some money. He calls her and gives a nice abuse in Malayalam. I was working in Kerala. So that was the issue of those days, money not getting returned. Then the officer is responsible. The field officer is responsible. In your period, this much money is paid as loan and it does not come back. So you are liable, responsible, your promotion is stopped or you are dealt with on a charge. And one day manager came to me late night at 12 o'clock. Sir, I think I not locked the branch. 1 o'clock. Then both of us, since I was studying for the examination, it's okay. I was also awake, so both of us went, and we found the bank was properly locked. So his own worries were probably he didn't lock the loan, so money may go off. Now, after many years, things have changed. I remember banks were protesting against introduction of computers. Earlier in point of time, 85, 86, 87, the women will not even go for a training in computers. And probably now they are right. Because computers is full of threat to the bank, serious threat to the customers. But then you had to, a stage has come, you had to have the transactions in computers, internet, e-banking, e-commerce. It's completely revolutionized the commerce in the whole world, and particularly in banking. So things are completely changed. But now there are serious other problems, because internet always also involves crimes, internet crimes, computer crimes. Cyber crimes. Some people think cyber crime means no crime. I asked a question in the college recently, boys, what is cyber crime? He said cyber crime is no crime. Zero. Or their wild imagination, Children are generally taught to tell lies or whatever they feel like. And somebody says, sir, zero means nobody can detect this crime, so zero. So cyber is a word used by, in a book called Necromancer, I forgot the name of the author. This is to refer to the idea that this crime is taking place in some place you will never know. International cyberspace or the electromagnetic, electronic communication, which is the cause for these crimes, you will know where it takes place. So he mentioned this word cyber, not C-Y-P-H here, not C-Y-B, cyber, C-Y-P-H here, cyber. So this is C-Y-B here, cyber crime, not cypher. Cypher is a different spelling altogether. So cyber crimes has now become a serious problem because computers are connected. The first attempt was to connect the defense computers in the United States. Am I right? ARPANET. All ARPANET computers, they connected for their own safety, for their own communication, because their offices are in various places, Pentagon or White House or various places. Now computers, all the computers are connected. All mobile phones are connected. Now they say more than 45 crore people, Indian people, are connected through internet. So more people are going to be connected, and the rate is very fast, and everybody is going to have a IP address. Everybody is going to have a computer or internet facility, and they are going to, all the banking transactions are going to be now to a large extent computerized or in the online. So the problem is when many crimes takes place, unfortunately, ultimately the blame comes sometimes to the bank, and that is why the branch manager must be aware of the kind of crimes that can take place. I know a case, at least two cases I can tell you. A bank manager receives a mail to transfer 80 lakhs rupees from his account to another account. And he very happily transferred immediately because he's a good customer. He's one of the valuable customers from last many years. They're traditionally our customers. So he transferred 80 lakhs. The message was not sent by the customer. Somebody else hacked into the system or computer. ID only he used. Only used the ID of the customer. He has not done anything else. He's a very clever man. Not a clever man. He just, that investigation part I'll come to it later. Now, there was a message I received from Mumbai that somebody is sending so much money to some underworld in Mumbai from Coimbatore. 40 lakhs, 80 lakhs, 90 lakhs. Mr. Rajendra knows this case. So altogether about 4.6 crores money have been paid from Coimbatore to various banks accounts in Mumbai, and most of the accounts are questionable accounts. So when I just informed the doctor, he was surprised. He checked up with the accountant, and the accountant ran away. She was missing. It is this accountant, she has transferred all the money very gradually. She transferred because she was paying to a Nigerian cheating gang for her 50 billion US dollars lottery. You all know the lottery scam, the Nigerian scam. That's one of the very important scams which also affects the banking. It affects banking because this girl quietly transferred 4.6 crores of rupees from her company, or she's an accountant. And the doctor and her wife, they say, sir, this is our lifetime earning, 4.6 crores. And this manager is responsible for this. Because he has been sending RTGC on request, my own request. It is not my request. I have not written any letter. The clerk or the accountant or his assistant is taking a letter to the manager, please transfer 80 lakhs rupees RTGC account in so and so's name. How can you believe this? He would have just called me and checked up. And one check, I have not signed the check. 80 lakhs rupees is transferred to some account. So he and his wife, ultimately, then let me tell you, I am supposed to be the investigating agency, and police will have serious difficulty in this kind of Nigerian cheating. Otherwise called 409, 409, 419, what a name. It's all our own 420. See, it's all British law. You know, Indian Penal Code, when it is written, they'll have a number, like 302 murder, 379 theft, ordinary theft, 380 house burglary. Like that, the section. So, this group of people are very, very international criminals. They have contacted this girl and said that we are going to pay you 50 billion US dollars, 50 million US dollars, 50 into 6, that means how much? 3,000 crores, right? It's a big money. So ultimately the girl believed it and quietly transferred, and at one stage she found out it is not correct. She's doing something wrong and money is not going to come. And she realized the mistake, but now they will not allow her to simply escape. You know, they say, we will report to the Indian police. They will arrest you. Send immediately another 50 lakhs. And he sent it. So she's now under their control. Otherwise, blackmailed already. So now the whole point of attention has come from the girl to international criminals to bank account to ultimately the bank manager. He is responsible. He must pay the money. The bank must pay the money. His contention is this. Most of the cases, even in a recent case, I remember a case somebody reported in Chennai, he's almost 4 crores like this. You know, this kind of method, you know. The man is supposed to receive some money from the United Kingdom, a prawn food exporter, and suddenly a letter goes to the UK firm who is paying the money to the Madras man that our account number is going to be changed. Please wait, don't send the money for 2 days. After 2 days, the mail goes, okay, this is the new account number, please send the money in the new account number. So he sent 4.7 crores in the new account number. This man is keeping on waiting. The money is not being paid. Usually he pays in 7 days. Now it is 15 days, it is 20 days, 21 days, 3 weeks. Now he calls, what happened to the money? Actually, he shoots a mail. He said, money has been paid even 2 weeks before. Now, see, UK people, they take all precautionary measures. He is sending a mail that you have mentioned that you have changed your mail, your original banking account. Is it true? Please advise. He is writing. This owner has not seen any mail. He is busy with the television. What is going on in the television? 24 hours news, breaking. All breaking. He has broken his business also now. It's a business breaking news. He is glued into this. He has gone to some worshipping places. He has gone to some far away pilgrimage. Now he has never opened the mail. Then he's writing, okay, now I confirm that you're not replied. I am sending the money in the new account tomorrow. Please advise. See, people who run business, who knows the computer safety, internet safety, they take all precautions. And people who do not take it very seriously, they fail to take precautions. And that's the problem. So all precaution, where I'll come to that, solution to computer crimes, internet online crimes in the banking industry lies like any other solution for health or for safety of your money, anything, prevention. Prevention is better than cure. So in the investigation, the problem comes, we can identify the accounts, we can identify the owners of the account, we can also identify the source, and now the source will be in the United States, and the bank account will be in the UK, and the people who have done it, they'll be in Nigeria, and now they'll be camping in some island somewhere near Philippines. And why to arrest? How to arrest? And where is the money? Where is the money now? Even the FBI, United States, they have serious problem in identifying arrest. They have been not very successful in arresting many cases. Some cases, yes. The only silver lining today in Tamil Nadu police, at least you can say, we have well-trained, educated, well-trained manpower, officers who can investigate. But the problem exists. You have to get your money back. And the internet criminals, like Nigerian criminals, or they are not there to give you the money back to you. They have not done so much technical job to get the money, give the money back to you. It's a big network. So understanding the network itself is a big problem. It involves many countries, many investigating agencies, many procedures, international protocols, international agreements to extradite people. Some countries you cannot extradite people for other crimes other than terrorism and other related crimes, not for these crimes. It's a big process. Therefore, ultimately, the solution lies in your own hands. After all, Section 43A is added in the IT Act 2008, which makes the people who are in custody of the vital information of the customers are also personally responsible for, they are liable for and they are liable for the damage to be given to the customers. So all precautions must be taken in the, for example, CCTV cameras in the ATMs. ATM frauds, very variety of frauds, ATM fraud. So this is, as I told you, comparing Japan and India, there are any number of dishonest people willing to make some money. So you can always suspect. Now, I found out, even I am getting calls. Sir, your bank account number has some problem, we have to see that this problem has to be settled. And you know, these people can't even talk English properly. All the Bihari fellows. Or they are sitting in Delhi with a phone call. They have the list of all the police numbers, CGU number. Every number he calling. No, one woman constable immediately she stopped the moped and she started listening to this very sincerely. Oh, my bank account is going to be closed. Oh, my next month I have to pay a fee, my son. She's giving suggestion to him. And he says, Madam, is it true? I'm very sorry, Madam. Please immediately go to the banking ATM and give me the details of the account. Your name, your father's name, your mother's name. She's very happy. Mother name, somebody is asking now. Father's name, mother name, children's name. And then suddenly he asks, what is the PIN code number? Passcode, whatever. She gave everything. Her 65,000 rupees is gone. Now, I think a lot of people, now the man who is talking, he has very elementary knowledge in English. But he has a criminal mind to extract information. Now, don't think only women police constables are very ordinary man. See, people over phone or newspaper or mail, they believe, they trust. You know, our people, they are gullible, they are credulous. That's the English word. Credulous. People just believe. Just because a call is coming, they immediately believe that is a genuine call. Don't think only the gullible, ordinary people. I heard that one of the chief executives responsible for the whole banking safety in India, he got a message, thank you for transacting a business of 40,000 rupees from your bank account. And if you're not even taken any bank account, please call this so and so, our executive. He was very furious. I myself is the chief of the banking security in the whole country. And this fellow was, who can take the money, 40,000 rupees from my bank account? He immediately was very angry. You know, anger is very bad, let me tell you. When you're angry, you will not act sensibly. He called, he abused the fellow. What is going on? Who has taken 40,000 rupees from my account? How can I take it? Sorry, very sorry, sir. How do you know that? I got a message. Sorry, sir, please put on the phone, sir, I'll come back to you in 5 minutes. I'm very sorry. Then the man came down from the bank inside. Sorry, sir, we come to know that your bank, somebody has taken 40,000 rupees from your bank. We are very sorry. This has not happened in our branch, but I'll immediately block the account, sir. No more money will be taken, sir. Don't worry, sir. We are very sorry, sir. Okay. Then he comes back again. Sir, please then give me the details of your name, your father's name, your mother's name, your account number, your previous account number, which branch. He gave all the things. 6 lakhs rupees is gone in 1 minute. You understand this? They are not ordinary people. Anybody can make mistake. I know one of the armed forces, Lieutenant General. He has opened the computer. There is a email from Canara Bank. Sir, we are very sorry to inform you that your bank account has been closed because of the non-payment or some whatever, etc. Your credit card has not been renovated. Please, if you are not renovated, please renew it now. Do you want to renew it now? Yes. He put yes. Then your name, you give me a password, your account number, he gave it. 5 lakhs rupees gone. Now he came running. Problem is, people like that can't even give a complaint. Now imagine a situation if I lose my money from the bank my account. If I also, some money has been taken, even without my knowledge, some account has been transferred from my account, whom will I go and complain? I'll go to the police station. It will be the national news. ADGP responsible for the crime prevention, the police, his money has been stolen. No? It will be half page. Even if the greatest achievement of the police, not even 2 sentences will come. But continue. Now, that's why I don't keep any money in my savings account. I actually removed the money immediately when I went for a course on cybercrime investigation. There is where I found out anybody's account can be hacked. My account, our account will be all available for sale in Nigeria. Do you know that? All your accounts, your number, everything is available in the internet for sales. People can sell you. Thankfully, I must really thank and appreciate the banking industry today. The corporate body, corporate. Our banks have been to a large extent successful in safeguarding the vital information of the customers. I must really appreciate them. Despite the fact the best international criminals are all around, they are prowling, they are ready to knock off the money. Our money is to a large extent safe. Because if you go by the statistics, there are 1,000 cases and 80 crores rupees of money has been fraudulently removed in the internet banking. That's not a big money, serious. But even though we cannot take it very simply, or we can't say it's not serious, but to a large extent, our system is in place. Therefore, the ultimate solution should be prevention by way of CCTV camera. Various methods are available to take away money from the ATM. In Japan, I remember early morning in Tokyo, they kept an ATM machine itself. The new ATM machine came, people went, they tried to swap, they swapped, but no money was coming. They kept on trying and they went away. Till evening it was there. Next day morning, all their account money is gone. There's a camera, they got the passcode, everything, and they had taken away money. It was somebody has brought a ATM machine and kept it there. Okay, mission itself disappeared, yeah. It is their mission. So there are many ways. Now, I think there are protocols, the security of the data, the information security system should be in place. There must be master circulars which are being circulated from the RBI, RBI guidelines. And then there's a system called Know Your Customer. Yeah, unless the customer is very well known, an account should not be opened. A SIM card by the service providers should not be given, because it is through these people these internet crimes are perpetuated because of the false ID. A man who is non-existing, he may have an account. A person who is non-existing, he may have a SIM card. It is these through measures that criminal crimes are easily committed. Therefore, following strictly the protocol of safety in the form of CCTV cameras, in the form of Know Your Customer systems, the master circulars, and the notifying. I think it's very, very important. Banks have already taken care of notifying the customer about the transaction immediately. It's very important. Personal contact with important customers, with bank managers, very important. Don't think that somebody has given us a letter or somebody has sent a mail that I can transfer big money. Before transferring big money, at least common sense to instruct you to check with this person whether he has instructed. He may be a big man, he may be a rich person, he may be a very senior official, but still, prudence demands that you check up with him whether he has really instructed to transfer the money. So I think more of an awareness to the officers of the banking, awareness of the customers, and in the national and international level, there are various issues at the larger level to recover money to investigate. Mr. Balu probably will be able to throw more light. He's one of the police officers who specialized in cybercrime investigation. He's here. I don't know whether he's going to handle any classes here, any interaction with them. Just a? Oh, you're only a participant. Okay, he's a very, very resourceful person from a cybercrime investigation point of view. He's a very, very practical person. So probably if there is time permits, he can be allowed to give an interaction with the participants. It will be useful. So with these words, ladies and gentlemen, I'm extremely pleased to inaugurate this seminar. I'm very sure that you will learn a lot of new information and you will be more enlightened and empowered to deal with internet crimes, online cyber banking crimes, and don't become a victim yourself of these cyber crimes and large amount of money is in your custody. You should learn more. Learning more is very, very important. Cybercrime requires, now anti-virus protection measures like a firewall or because they say millions of new Trojans. Banking is affected by Trojan only. Trojans are being spread all over the world. There are banks which are just closed because of cyber crimes. Banks have been closed. Very large banks, billions of dollars were lost overnight, and they had to close their operations because people are very, very intelligent. Programmers, computer programmers particularly, they're highly efficient to transfer money, illegal transfer of money from one account to another, and you should be extremely aware. You should read newspapers. You should update yourself, learn yourself on a day-to-day basis because it's very, very important responsibility which the bank has to. Legally, you are mandated to be aware of these crimes, protect your information against such international crimes. And thank you very much and wish you all the best.